So today I will present to you guys about computer and hardware. But before we begin, let me introduce myself first. My name is Tessalonika Grecia Kormasela and I'm a student from Basi University. And I took software engineering class and my student ID number is 1025063. As I said before, we'll talk about computer and hardware. We will know about what they are, how they work, and the different types you should know about. So, let's get started! So, what exactly is a computer? A computer is an electronic device designed to take in raw data, process it, store it, and then produce meaningful output that we can use. It follows a simple cycle: input, process, storage, and output. Now, computers are not just for one thing. We use them every day for so many tasks. Writing documents, doing calculations, studying, creating designs, writing program, communication with each other, and of course, entertainment. They've become an essential part of both our personal and professional lives. Let me break down the four main functions of a computer. The first is input. This is where the computer receives data from the user. For the example, when you type on keyboard or click the mouse. Second is process. The computer takes that input and processes it using its CPU, which acts as the brain of the system. Third is storage. The processed data can be saved for the later use, either temporarily in RAM or permanently on a hard drive or SSD. And the fourth is output. The computer presents the result to the user, whether that's displaying something on the screen, printing a document, or playing audio through speakers. Now, let's look at the different types of computer based on their size and capability. First, we have supercomputers. These are the most powerful computers in the world. They're used for extremely complex tasks like weather forecasting, scientific simulation, and nuclear research. And the next are mainframe computers. These are large, powerful machines used mainly by big organizations like banks and government agencies to handle massive amounts of data and support thousands of users at the same time. And then we have mini computers, which are mid-range systems. They are smaller than mainframe but more powerful than personal computers. They're often used in medium-sized business. And finally, microcomputers. These are the one most of us use every day. Desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones all fall into this category. Now, let's move on to hardware. Hardware refers to all the physical components of a computer, the parts you can actually see and touch. Without hardware, software would have nothing to run on. They work together as a team. Hardware provides the physical capability and software provides the instruction. So, what does hardware actually do? Hardware serves 5 key functions in a computer system. First, receiving data from users. Hardware like keyboards, mice, and microphones allow us to input data and commands into the computers. And second, processing data. The CPU and GPU take the raw input and perform calculation and operations to turn it into something meaningful. And the third, displaying information. Output hardware like monitors, projectors, and speakers present the process results so that we can see, hear, and understand them. And the fourth, storing data. Devices like hard drives, SSDs, and USB flash drives keep our files, programs, and operating systems safe, either temporarily or permanently. And the fifth, running computer system. Hardware components like the motherboards, power supply, and cooling fans work behind the scene to keep the entire system powered, connected, and running smoothly. Now, hardware can be divided into 4 main categories: input device, processing device, storage device, and output device. Let me walk you through each one with some example on the next few slides. Starting with input device, these are the tools we use to send data and comments into the computer. As you can see here, we have the keyboard, which is the most common input device for typing text, the mouse, which let us navigate and interact with what's on the screen, the webcam used for video input like video calls and recording, and the scanner, which converts physical documents into digital files, and the microphones, which captures audio input for voice recording or voice comments. Now we have processing device. These are the components responsible for actually computing and executing instruction. The most important one is the CPU, the central processing unit, which is often called the brain of the computer. It handles all the calculations and logic that make the system work. And this is the VGA, this is the motherboard, and this is the RAM. Now let's look at storage device. These are what the computer uses to save data. Here we have the USB flash drives, small, portable, and great for transferring files between devices. The SSD or solid-state drive, which is fast, reliable, and has no moving parts. The optical disk drive, use it for reading and writing CDs and DVDs. And the traditional hard disk drive or HDD, which use spinning disk to store large amounts of data at a lower cost. And finally, output device. These are what the computer uses to present information to us. The monitor displays everything visually, from the text to videos. The printer produces physical copies of digital documents. And the projector displays content on the larger screen, which is perfect for presentation like this one. And the speakers deliver audio output, whether it's music, sound effect, or voice. So, to wrap everything up, a computer is a powerful electronic device that processes data through 4 key functions: input, process, storage, and output. Hardware is the physical foundation that makes all of this possible, serving 5 essential roles: receiving data, processing it, displaying information, storing data, and running the system as the whole. These hardware components are categorized into input, processing, storage, and output device, each playing a critical part in making the computer work. Understanding this basic is important because computers are everywhere in our lives, and knowing how they work helps us use them more effectively. And that brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this presentation has helped you gain a clear understanding of what computers are and how their hardware components work together. I'm so sorry if there are any mistakes in my pronunciation or presentation. Thank you for understanding. Goodbye, guys!